Should everything in life be easy? Or are there some things that are supposed to be hard? That is going to be the topic of this episode of Chi Life. So there are lots of different people who have different views about life and how we should live it and what different things mean. And particularly as people get into different types of spirituality or different ideas around it, they form sometimes some quite broad views about what things mean in life. And one view that I've heard expressed quite regularly by a certain type of person is that if something is hard, if something is difficult, then that means that you're on the wrong track, that you're not supposed to do it. Because everything in life should be easy, everything should just flow. And they have an idea, pointing to nature that, in nature, everything just flows, and so everything should just flow in our lives as well. And there can be some truth to that, certainly. If you're looking at sort of the big picture of our lives, I do think there are patterns, there are things that fit for us, things that are aligned with our character, our attributes, and possibly, depending on your view, maybe our purpose in life. And so maybe some things that we are supposed to do, or at least are more fitting for us, and other things that are really going to take us away from our purpose and the things that are of most good to ourselves and maybe to the world around us. And so things can occur, within our life if we're heading down the wrong path, where things will obstruct us, and that can be an indication, I think, that, hey, maybe that's not the right path for us, and we should find another way. But I think this is often taken too far and not understood in the right way. Because sometimes people will take this idea and then, whenever there's any difficulty, whenever there's any challenge in something, go, it's too hard. Better to follow the path of least resistance. Now, there's a saying that I'm quite fond of. You might have heard me refer to it in this log before. Where I first found it, it was credited to Eleanor Roosevelt, but who knows? It's like one of these quotes. Someone might have just made it up and attached their name to it. But the quote is that only dead fish always go with the flow. And so what that means is that if a fish always just goes with the current of a river, it's not alive. Sometimes they have to swim across the stream or up the stream. And that's just part of life. And I think we run the risk of becoming a dead fish if all we ever do is go with the flow. Going with the flow will often take us to places that are not in our best interests, not for our higher purpose or anything like that. Now, that doesn't mean we should always be fighting against the flow either. Rather, we need to harmonize ourselves with it. Yes, recognize the flow, the current, how we can use that to our benefit. But there are times when we need to swim against it for our good and for our higher purpose. Another example from nature that relates to this is the hatching of a bird from an egg. So young baby birds, they get born in an egg, and the outside of that egg is hard, right? In order for them to come out of that egg and be alive, they have to work really hard. They're tiny. They've only just started their life. They don't have any strength in their muscles or anything like that. And they have to fight their way out of that egg, to chip away at it and find their way out. Now, what happens if instead someone comes along and goes, you know what? I'll crack that egg for you to help you out. Well, then that little baby bird doesn't develop the strength that it needs from the struggle so that it can live healthily outside of the egg. And so that process of struggle, of challenge, is actually essential to the well-being of that little baby bird so that it can prosper and thrive in its life after that. And I think that is true for us as individuals as well. There are some things in our lives that it's not just unfortunate maybe that they're difficult for us, but it's actually essential for us that they're difficult, because that is what helps us to develop. And again, this can be, down to the level of developing our muscles and things like the baby bird, but then out more broadly to our purpose, our path in life. If you do believe that there is some kind of path, some kind of meaning for you in life, then sometimes you're going to need to develop certain skills, characteristics, determination, and so on for you to actually be able to live that and fulfill that properly. And the struggles and challenges that we have are an important part of that. So I think the point of this vlog is to offer a counterpoint to that view that everything should be easy, and when something becomes difficult, that means we're on the wrong path. But to recognize that actually sometimes some of those difficulties, those challenges, are actually an important thing for us and just part of our path, part of our development that are important for us. Again, there needs to be some discernment about what kind of struggle it is that you're facing, whether it's a struggle that is an indication that, hey, maybe this isn't the right thing for me, maybe I need to find something where things come together more easily, or whether it's just part of your development, part of something that you need to go through for your own good, and maybe so you can develop skills and characteristics that will serve both you and other people in the future as you carry on your life's path. Now, part of why this is on my mind recently, or right now, is because I've been doing some stuff for the last little while that I have found really quite challenging. I found it really hard. And it could be very easy for me, if I took that follow the path of least resistance approach, to just go, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. I'll go do something easier. But my view is, in this particular instance, that this is actually something that it's really important for me to do. Both for myself, for my broader path in life, and really actually to be of service to other people in the world around me. And it's been really challenging, but I think it's worthwhile. I think it's something important, and so I've been carrying on with it, and I'm finding my way through it. And I'm still actually right in the middle of it right now. haven't finished yet, but I will get to the end, and I think it's all going to be worthwhile. And yeah, just part of my I don't really know why necessarily I've been finding it so challenging, other than I feel like maybe it's one of those things where I need to go through the challenge as part of developing my own determination, maybe some certain skills, who knows, as part of this process. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful to someone, and I look forward to seeing you on another one soon.